Just in watching the video last night, did you see anything else from last night's game that's worth
No, I
addressing?
mean, just a team that finished off their plays really well, right? So the moments that they had, they really took them clinically, right? Damir Kreilach is a game changer for them. Does really well, finds good pockets of space, and we learned the hard way. But yeah, good moments. I thought the first half was in control. We go down a goal and then fight our way back and take control of the half again, and pretty much the same things I said last night. And again, just growing moments, growing pains, and yeah, we move on.
How do you look at this Western Conference right now? Everybody, it seems like
Crazy.
there's a blob of teams right there. It puts importance on every game, especially ones like San Jose.
Yeah, I mean, we've never wavered from, what we believe in and who we are, right? So, yeah, we're just trying to do the best job we can do, right? And trust the process, right? Whether that process looks like position one after 17 match days. I think you've heard me say many times sitting here, the season is a long season, and we're not getting ahead of ourselves, right? And now we can see the moments why, because we know there's good teams. There's good teams fighting for every point. And when you're playing the second stretch of the season, now the playoffs are becoming a thing, right? So now teams are treating every single game like it's a do or die game. So and that's what we have to be cognizant of. And but nothing changes, right? So no added pressure, we are where we are, and we've proven that, right? We've proven we can be competitive, and now, yeah, we have to be excited about every game, every challenge that comes our way, good and bad.
Yeah, you could be first place one day and seventh place.
Sure,
You know,
sure.
two
That
games
just
later.
shows the parity of the league, right? So we get off to a good start. Teams get off to, a little bit of a haltering start. Some teams, and it kind of changes trajectory over the different pathways of the seasons, right? So when you're up, you're down. When they're up, you're down. So at the end of the season, you just have to value every single point. And unfortunately, yeah, we let some points slip.
And then, when you look at the numbers for this team, do you see any difference with the numbers, say, between how you play at home and how you play on the road?
What numbers are you talking
I
about?
just whether it's in your duels won or just in expected goals. I mean, do you see something that tells you that
Yeah, I
is
mean,
different about how you play?
our expected goals over away from home against Nashville, we get 1.8, right? Yesterday, I think it's 0.7, 0.8, something like this. Yeah, so, I mean, the game gives you, the output that the opposition gives you, right? So we try and find ways and means. I think we got into a lot more dangerous moments than the 0.8 suggests, or the 0.7, but we just couldn't connect the cross. So, Celio Pompeu bombs down the right-hand side, has a good move, failed to get the cross off, right? Jared Stroud twice, 3 times on the other side too. The cutback cross or the one across the face of goal. So things we value, just aren't falling for us right there in those critical moments. And those are things for us to be working on, right? And that's what we come to training every day for. So, I don't think it's whether it's home or away. I think it's just minor details. I always say there's 2-3 pieces of the puzzle before we score a goal and before we concede a goal, right? So we don't just look at the action of when we concede the goal, we take it back a little bit and form the little blocks of the piece of the puzzle and try and connect those to see how we can mitigate good moments, how we can, mitigate the bad moments in transition. And unfortunately, over the last 2 games, we've given up too many transition moments.
Does the lack of Edward Leuven in the lineup change where you're intentionally trying to move the ball through, whether it's the midfield or the wings?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think Indy, Jabulo, I think they've both shown qualities that they can hold the ball in the midfielder position, in the 6th position. You know what I mean? So, yes, that we get off to a shaky start, I would say. We lose 1 or 2 balls centrally, and then takes us longer to get back in the rhythm, which is totally normal, totally understandable. Indy's been playing up the field for a couple of weeks now. Now he finds himself a little bit deeper, and a mistake up the field, nobody blinks an eye. A mistake in the 6, everyone blinks an eye, right? So these are just some of the things that we have to sharpen up with and get used to where we are on the field of play. And obviously, it's always easy to say do better, but what are we doing to the individual to help the individual as well receiving the ball?
And with what the Earthquakes offer on their wings, is there any thought as to whether you're looking at maybe a Johnny Nelson versus a Kyle Hebert in what they can offer and help with the backline defense?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, there's a lot of guys pushing for a lot of minutes right now. There's a lot of competition, and we see this all the time, right? We saw good performances from guys coming on the field, whether it was AZ, whether it was Josh Yarrow. So guys coming on the field and create a bit of life. Rasmus comes in, brings a lot of energy to the game as well. So this is cognizant to all of us, and we're looking to see what the best group is possible and who's recovered and who can go again. And some guys are a lot more durable, a lot more they do a lot of regen and can make sure that they turn around some bodies, whether it's age related or just physics related. They just take a little bit longer to recover. So we know we have a tough stretch now, over, this three game stretch now, in a short period of time. So, we still have a couple more hours before we have to make those decisions. But yeah, we're just looking to get a fresh, energized group out there.
So now that we're on the second half of the season and the team is playing teams for the second time very often, is planning for those games any different, or do you go about those the same way you will plan
Yeah, it
during the
depends
first half?
depends what the opposition has done over the last 3-4 months, since we've last seen them. It's good to take note of the last games, obviously, and it's good to take note of the game you played against them, positive or negative, right? So we look at a lot of this. We look at the structural things, the benefits of certain systems, formations, and we look through that as a staff, and we go through it, and we come up with the best possible game plan. But I think right now the focus is on us. The focus is on us keeping a clean sheet and making sure that we defend as a group. We've strayed away from that a little bit, and collectively, so we just have to make sure that we're doing everything in a smart way, an organized way, and a proactive way. So, and that, what does that mean? So how close can be the connectedness between the lines and then between the attackers, midfielders, and strikers. So, I think a lot more of the focus now depends on us.
We talked earlier in previous weeks about how when the team was doing well defensively and you were sticking with the back line because you were getting clean sheet mentality and that was working. Now teams allowed 6 goals in the past 2 games. Does that lead towards making moves on the back? You talk about Yarrow doing better, obviously, and how do you see the back line?
Yeah, like I said, we need to look at who's recovering, who's recovered, what's the energy levels like, what's the mental psyche like, and we have to help those individuals, right? So whether we turn them around or whether, we say, okay, this is one, for us to approach from the bench. We're open to a lot of things at the minute, and we'll see. It just depends who can recover the best.
It was a couple of just bad breaks for Tim Parker last night. The first one hits his knee and comes off hard.
Tim does everything we ask him to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
We ask him to commit brave defending forwards, knowing that we have strategic measures, planned measures of if that ball turns over, but then there's the next pieces of the puzzle. And unfortunately, 2-3 pieces of the puzzle, weren't in place. And then unfortunately, we concede goals. So again, we look at these things together. There's no finger pointing, there's no blaming. Tim did everything in his powers, to defend by our principles. Just from time to time now, over the last couple of games, the principles have been stretched a little bit. So we have to now almost, go 2 steps backwards to make sure we defensively sound before we try and win the game at all costs. So I think now we have to find the balance, right? We had 25 turnovers in the opposition half, which I think was a season high from us. Again, I mentioned that last night. And if you score 1 or 2 of those, then you finish off a team here at home at City Park, right? They don't go your way, and you think you can still just go and open up and go again and go again. Unfortunately, you get a little bit stretched and, a little bit too eager to steal the points. So, we need to be a bit more strategic.
Obviously, it's not a situation you want, but you guys, the last 2 games, did a good job after you gave up the first goal, coming back and getting even. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, we have a good group. We have guys who are hungry, guys who are eager, guys who want to do the best possible for their teammate, right? So, again, we know what team we have, we know who we are, and we have to stay true to that, to those principles, right? Again, it's a good group of guys.
Coach, with all of the wins that you've banked already, how can that affect your approach as maybe you want to try some different combinations over the next few weeks?
I don't think there's too many, moments for experimentations. I'm not sure there's, a panic button to be hit. Actually going into this next half of the season, we actually started from 0 points. So we're treating this as a 17 match day league. And we start from 0. So we're not even banking those points. So psychologically they're somewhere there in the background. But we started yesterday from 0, So right now we're bottom of the log.
You mentioned the 25 turnovers up high and the lack of finishing. It seemed like after Klaus went down, it took a few games to find that India and Vasilov ended up being one of the pieces to the puzzle. If you're needing to shift him deeper down the field, what can be some answers to how you can finish without Klaus and Leuven?
Yeah, good. I mean, you have Thomas Ostruck, who's now getting a rhythm of games, getting a rhythm of performances, finding, I believe the 10 is his best spot, right? So the central 10. And then can he get into a rhythm of sharpness, both sides of the ball, with the ball, against the ball. So we saw some good things, picking up pockets of space in the red zone. We call them the red zones, which now, allows Indy time to get back up into the attacking, the Edu Leuven role. And then Jubbs holding down the forward at the back, just supporting and screening the back line. But then you see when Jubbs is truly valuable is where he jumps forward and wins the ball. And then we have the next wave of attack. And then Joa is in on the transition. We feed Jared Stroud, and Jared Stroud gets a shot off at goal. So, we need to be connected through all those lines, right? So I don't think it's too much as of personnel. It's the principles for us that apply, right? So, and how can we mitigate that? Yeah, we can play double six with Jubbs, Miggy Perez, or Akil Watts, right? So that's fine, which is a little bit more of a defensive approach, and we could take that route, and then get Indy back up the field. Now we just have to manage the engines of our bodies and sleep in the right way, eat in the right way, and make sure we recovered.
And one last question: you used Johnny Klein last night, which is his second time he's seen action,
Yeah.
and so that's it for him as far as short-term call-ups from MLS rules. Are you looking at any other opportunities for him or any other possible injury replacement types given the long-term unavailability of a Klaus and Leuven?
Yeah, listen, we know we have 4 call-ups, from City 2 guys. We know, we can call these guys 4 times, and we've had Max Schneider out, guys who are making a case for themselves, I thought, Riley Gibbs did a good job the other night at City 2 too. So we're keeping an eye on him. All the attacking guys we are keeping eyes on. Michael Wenzel's doing a great job at City 2 as well. So, we're always figuring these things out, and when we're able to get these guys training with us, and when we're able to get them in the roster, we'll do just about everything to do so. So, I mean, yeah, these are some of the things that are daily conversations within the coaching staff.
John Bell back and good to go?
Yeah, he trained today for the first time, so, just have to see how his foot recovers being in the cleat. And, yeah, but, I mean, it wasn't a major thing, but he's back on the field.
With Klein, I mean, you now, if you wanted to play him again, you have to sign him to a contract, right?
Yeah. You should stick with us in the front office.
Yeah. You like him enough to do that?
Yeah, I mean, Johnny's been great. I mean, Johnny's been really good. He's been a leader for City too. He's led by performances, and you see last night glimpses when he comes in and, it just brings a bit of energy, right? We lose the ball, he's counter-pressing, he's recovering, he's tenacious, he's back in it, he's in your face. So we like this type of character. We will continue to monitor that, and if needed, we'll do what's needed.
Is there a rule for going the other way? You can only call him up 4 times for 2 games. Was there how many times you could send him somebody down?
Not too sure. Not too sure. Good question. That one I don't know.
No.
All right, thank you.
We're ready? Hi, Rasmus. Hi. Offensively, lately the offense has been, Nico has scored the past 4 goals. He's the only guy that scored in the past 3 games. What does the rest of the offensive scoring times have to do to kind of get on the board?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, Nico is doing a good job right now, and when he's scoring those goals he does, then the other of us, we try to feed him because he's in his, he's in a momentum. But when we get the chance, of course, we try to score as well. But in the last couple of games, I think for myself, I haven't had that many opportunities to score, but I've had more of like the crossing situations. So you have to do what the game gives you, and if you get an opportunity to score, you have to try to score, of course. So I mean, all of us offensive players wants to score and make assists and stuff, so we are trying, but now it's Nico that is on fire. So
I don't know how closely you look at the standings, but the Western Conference where you guys are in is very closely packed, and it's not like a lot of European leagues where you get teams that move to the top. And what's it like for you as you look at how close the competition is in the Western Conference?
I mean, I'm the guy who takes one game ahead, So I'm looking at the table in the when it's done, because it's all about winning the next game and trying to take as many points as possible. So to look at the table now, there's so many games left. So for me, that doesn't like it's no point of looking at that now, because it's so many games left. So yeah, just try to do whatever we can to take as many points as possible, and then we'll see where it ends up.
You look at the last two games, you guys have allowed 6 goals in the last 2 games. What do you see as the issues with that?
I mean, I feel like Bradley has told us as well, it's small things that we need to change, and just to stay compact as a team and to do it together. Then I think a lot of the small things in games are won. So I think we just need to, yeah, stay together and be compact in the games, and run for each other and work hard.
Does the flow of the game feel any different without Edu Leuven in the lineup?
I mean, Edu is a fantastic player, so of course we miss him, but we still believe in the players we have in the squad, and I believe in the guys that are coming in instead of him. So for me, it's just, yeah, maybe different player types that you have to adjust to, but I feel like we have good players. We have a really good squad. So yeah, I think we just need to keep going and work hard, and then I think it will be fine in the end.
Rasmus, now that you are back playing, you played the last 4 games. How are you feeling after the injury?
After some games, it's a bit sore, but yeah, on game days I feel good. I feel fresh. So yeah, I feel okay.
Rasmus, to that end, when you get back, is there a period of time where you just need to get sort of in sync, feel like you're back kind of in cohesion with your teammates?
I mean, I don't like to make excuses, but since I come here, it's been some like days off and some days on, and then it gets like this weird rhythm. But yeah, I'm working hard. I'm trying to stay healthy and trying to do whatever I can outside of the. I think I have more time with the trainers than with my kids, so I'm trying my best to stay healthy, and that's what's the most important, because then I can be on the pitch and try to help my teammates.
As a guy with a high work rate, how hard is it for you to do 3 games in 8 days like this? And does the Swedish schedule have that a lot?
Yeah, sometimes, but not often. But I mean, we play soccer to play games, so that's just more fun to have more games than you don't have to train. But yeah, we love to play games. So if we have a lot of games, it's just fun.